Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, the engine's off the stand. We have the head on. We haven't torqued the head, we've just snugged down the nuts just a little bit. We went ahead and ordered a new clutch. We have the flywheel right over here. And on the flywheel is a little bearing. It's a pilot bearing. I don't know if you can see it. Ooh, finger, it's right there in the middle. That pilot bearing was in bad shape. So we went ahead and put a new one of those in. The ring gear and everything looks good on that, and then we're going to install the flywheel and the clutch onto the back of the engine. Coming over here, we have a throwout bearing inside, and the throwout bearing was in okay shape, but my clutch kit came with a new throwout bearing, so I installed that. It's pretty easy. You just have to unclip the two springs. There are two springs in there. I don't know if you can see them. They are there. There's one on either side of the throwout bearing. You unclip that and the whole apparatus just comes right off. You'll have the throwout bearing and then the bracket that it's pressed onto. Normally that's pressed on, or if you are really careful, you can use a mallet and hammer it on with some pieces of wood and stuff, and that's what I did, and it worked out really well. So the splines look good on the shaft. Everything looks good. We're going to get the flywheel on it, and we're going to get that torqued down, and then we'll put the clutch on, and then we'll move on to that. So we might time lapse this thing and we'll see how it works. All right, so here we go. I had to stop the camera there for just a second. All right, we're going to go ahead and try to do this, and like I said, we're going to probably try and speed this up because I don't know how this is going to go. That flywheel is really heavy. You're probably all wondering why I keep wearing the same plaid shirt, sweatshirt thing. It's because it's old and I got it for free. And it keeps me warm, believe it or not. The thing is a rag though. Hoping the wife will get me something new for Christmas. There's this big shim plate thing here. It's I need to put that on too. Just cleaning it up a little bit. All right, so there's studs here on the drive or on the crankshaft that coincides with holes in the flywheel, and they have to go together. And I'm telling you what, I'm afraid this is going to be a bear, but I'm gonna do my best. Hopefully it works. Hopefully I don't smash my fingers in the process. Oh dang. Okay, it's definitely the middle ones. It's on, just barely. Actually, a little bit surprised that went that easy. Yeah, it's all lined up. Okay. Okay, I believe there's torque specs to these. I'm not quite sure what the torque specs are. Just gonna, guess I probably should go the right way. Like I said, not quite sure what the torque specs are. We'll look at those in just a minute. I don't know if you guys saw, I got these brackets up top that I made from some flat steel. Made them into basically angle iron. And I'm using them as lifting brackets. Alright, I'm going to look at the torque spec and I'll get back with you. Okay, did some research. It's 40 foot-pounds for these bolts, these 4 bolts. So I've got the old torque torque wrench set up. We're going to go ahead and torque these bad boys down. Oh, that wasn't that much. Thought it'd be more. I guess it doesn't need to be that tight. I think it said 40, so we'll do that. Okay, those are torqued down to 40 foot-pounds. All right, I looked up the torque specs for the clutch. The clutch torque is at 13 foot-pounds. It's not much, but if you understand how these clutches work, it won't surprise you. I do have a couple kids here. You might hear them fiddle farting behind me. They're not supposed to. Will you take this over to the garbage, one of you over there? Go that way. So the clutch only goes on one way. You have a plate here. On the other side there's a plate. Well, there's not really a plate, but it protrudes a little higher than the clutch plate here. That needs to be on the outside. Otherwise, the plate will hit your flywheel, and that's not what you want. So I have a alignment tool that came with this. I'll go ahead and put that in there. And I'll put it on. Okay. See how that runs? Just like that. Now, if I put it in like this, it doesn't actually make contact with the flywheel, and therefore your clutch will never work. So I put that in and I let that sit. You two kids, knock it off. I got two kids here, they're fighting over who knows what. I wish they would knock it off. Okay, so I have my torque wrench set for 13 foot-pounds, and now I'm going to put my clutch plate, or my clutch piece here on. It's a 6-bolter, and it's just a matter of lining things up and screwing it in, I guess. Well, this is pretty dang exciting to watch, but hopefully it'll be able to help somebody, because as I've been working on this tractor, the books that I have are not always, I guess I should get the right socket, right? Would probably help. There we go. Oh, wrong one. It's right there. 1/2 inch. Alright, I'm going to pause this. I got to find the right socket. Okay, I found the socket. 1/2 inch socket. I'm just going to screw these in just a little bit just to hold the whole thing in place. There's really nothing to it. Oops, I'm probably blocking the thing with my leg. If if you didn't have to, I don't know why that's not lining up. It's so close. It wants to. If you didn't have to split the tractor apart, this would be really easy. Hopefully you guys don't mind my bald head getting into things. I don't know why those bottom ones aren't wanting to go in. I might have to loosen up these few. Oh, I know why they're not going in now. Gotta quit using the darn socket. I got these gloves at Walmart. They're some Gorilla Grip glove, and they've been really good for working on this engine. They're durable and they're kind of grippy. So it's pretty dang good. Okay. Alright, so these bolts are in. Now it's just a matter of torquing them down to 13 foot-pounds, which is not much. This is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this and we'll turn it on once we get it done. All right, clutch is assembled. We're about ready to put the axle. We're going to lift up the engine and get it into place here in just a second. That'll probably be the next thing we show. So I think we're ready to put the engine on. And once the engine's on, we'll go ahead and put the front bracket on, and put the front wheels on, and then once kind of the thing is back on its own power, or on its own wheels, we'll torque the head down properly, and we'll start putting everything together. Stay tuned.